Alright, it is Monday, February 9th. I'm here for day 3 of the Ozark Trail. It's been like a month since I've been out here. We had crazy snowstorm, I was sick for a while, and, been busy, been working, been whiny, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so I'm gonna go from the Brazil Campground to the Berryman Campground today, which is like 11 miles. But then I'll have to take the road back through the conservation area, which is like 4.5 miles, but it's a pretty 4.5 miles on the ridge. So hopefully I'll get to see the sunset from the ridge. I don't know, who knows. So we just had that snowstorm, and all the snow melted, so all the little creeks are up, and it's too early and too cold to walk through that little creek this morning. So I actually cheated and went around. There's a mountain bike trail over here. It comes out of Brazil Creek Campground and comes down here, and then the trail goes here, or it crosses the road. And I'm gonna walk down here ways and see if I can miss the creek. If not, I'm definitely not too good to just go back up there and walk across the bridge on the highway, because it's not terribly cold today. It's going to get up close to 60, but this morning it's definitely above freezing, but it's in the 30s for sure. Alright, so the creek's not as overflowed as I thought it was going to be. Up here where the trail is, it's probably 2 feet deep or more, so I'm not going to cross there. But right here, it's shallow, and there's a bunch of little rocks. Probably going to get my feet wet, but what the hell, I was going to get them wet anyway. I crossed and only got 1 foot wet, which is good, I guess, but now we got a frozen trail. Alright, so it's a little afternoon now, it's about 12:30, and I stopped for a snack and energy drink. So, I am only about 4 miles from the Berryman Trail. This has been quicker than I thought it was going to be. There's not been a lot going on. It's been pretty quiet, pretty peaceful. I saw one guy run a chainsaw. I've just been walking up and down hills, crunching leaves for about 4 hours. Been super nice, super relaxing. If I overshoot the Berryman Campground a little ways, then there's, I think, 2 springs that I could go check out. But even if I waste time and hit every trail that I know of in this area, I don't think it'll waste enough time for me to catch the sunset on the ridge back. I'm going to be there realistically by like 2 or 2:30. So, that is what it is. When I get there, I'll look. I'm sure there'll be a map with more information. I don't know how it'll go yet, but I don't have super high hopes for still being around here when the sun goes down. It's still kind of hard to see the trail, and I don't want to get harped on this again. I'm just going to use this as an example. I got turned onto the wrong trail at this intersection because there's like 3 or 4 different trails here. And I noticed this little placard as I went by. I went this way because it's got the Ozark Trail placard, but it also says Spur Trail. And if that placard was not there, I would have just went this way, and I just looked on the map. Completely wrong direction. I need to turn around and go that way. That would have added however long onto my trail until I figured out that I was not on the map anymore. I just popped over this ridge, was hiking along, not paying any attention, and spooked about 15 or so turkeys. It just flew off, and I tried to pull my phone out real quick and get a video of them, but I doubt I got anything. I was still quite a ways off. Me and my brother had done something similar here, I don't know, 10 or 15 miles, well farther than that, Ozark Conservation Area, not a year and a half ago. It is 2:47, and I just walked into Berryman Campground. So the Ozark Trail, you can see the placards. The Ozark Trail goes that way, but I'm going to stop and check out this map real quick. Well, should be no surprise, the sign wasn't that helpful. It was the same map I had on my phone, and obviously I don't have signal, so I couldn't get a hold of anybody. Good a time as any to head back to the car. Have tore this place up. This place used to be like a nice thick forest. Sad. So I saw a couple of these signs today where they were warning that part of the conservation area had a prescribed burn on January 22nd. I never seen it all day, but here it is, right next to the road. Place to watch the sunset. We got an hour and a half or so, though. Honestly, today, I think the walk back to the car is actually prettier than the hike itself. Happens. So at this point, this road continues down and catches Highway W, but it kind of veers off in the wrong direction and makes my route really long. And where it catches W is on a ridge, and there's really no shoulder and a couple of blind turns. Just unnecessary silliness, especially this late in the day. So I'm going to jump off the road and go down this little logging road here for a little ways, and eventually I'm going to catch back onto the Ozark Trail and do the last mile or mile and a quarter back the way I came. This trail is not used often. It's not very easy to see. I'm happy I didn't wait and try and tackle this in the dark. And I made it back to the Ozark Trail. So this is where I came, down this way, through that trail, I guess. And I'm going to go this way down the trail. It should be 1.3 miles or something. Okay, I do need to hurry because it's going to be a nightmare with a flashlight and these leaves to try to find the trail after dark. But anyway, this time when the sun's just about to go down over the trees is the prettiest time of the day. I wish this period lasts like 3 hours. I was just hiking along, and I came around this turn and spooked an animal, and it took off, and I'm like 85% sure that it was a bobcat. So, yeah, now I've seen 15 or so turkeys and a bobcat today. No deer, though, which is a little strange for Missouri. Made it to the highway with time to spare. So, the highway's got a pretty decent shoulder from here, so I think I'll just take it. I don't necessarily want to get my feet wet in that creek again. Alright, I am back at the car. It's 5:49 p.m. It was super nice today, and nice and peaceful, and the weather was good, and it's just perfect. Spent way longer than I should have walking back here, though. So I hiked 17 miles, or maybe just a hair under 17 miles, in 9 hours and 45 minutes. But I wasn't racing anybody, so I still win. Only 10.8 of those counted toward the Ozark Trail, but yeah, that some days.